Thursday at 6 o'clock, because if it is, it means that Collectors Confessions is live and we're going over everything we bought for the week. This week we have a special guest, Mighty Mug's Thing. Watch on Sunday where we bought this and how much we paid for it. It wasn't a lot, but check it out. That will be Sunday's, actually Saturday night's video. We're going live Saturday, well no, not live, what am I, I'm lying. We're going Saturday night with a video about a recent adventure that me and Brian took, and we purchased this little guy. Here are the comics for the week that we will be going through. There are a lot. We have a lot of comics to go through this week. Let's pull them out. You get to guess how much we spent. Here's the stack. A lot of indies this week. We don't really usually buy a lot of indies, but there are a lot of indies this week. Let's take out the receipt. So let's get it started. Even though no one has joined yet, usually we get at least one person on it this time. So here we go. Get started. First up is Dynamite's Army of Darkness Forever #6. This is one of my favorite titles out right now. I love the movie stories, and one of our friends of the show, Tony Fleeks, is writing this. Check out our interview with Tony from about a month or so ago. Great guy. Just chatted about comic books, how he got into comic books, what he's working on now. He has a whole bunch of titles out right now. So just check out Tony. He's a good guy. Buy his comics. Also, Dark Horse's Blue Book, 1947. This one is issue number 4, written by James Tynion. Art by Michael Avon Oeming, another friend of the show. Also interviewed him recently. Michael was absolutely fantastic, and he gave us all his history on how he got into comics and what he did to make a living while he was working on comics. It was a really good interview. Probably one of my favorites that we've done with the show so far. So check that one out. Void Rivals continues over at Image, written by Robert Kirkman. It brings Transformers and G.I. Joe together. I'm a little bit behind on this, but I know Brian has been reading it. It's really good. If you're not reading Void Rivals, the first issue is in like its 6th or 7th print. Try to get it in a trade. It's been really good. It's definitely one of the better comic books on the shelves today. So more Dark Horse. Dudley Datsun and the Forever Machine, written by Scott Snyder. Issue number 1 was fantastic. It's about a teenager who gets to be a member of some time traveling protectors, and he's kind of a scientist but just starting out. It's a really different story than what I normally read, so give it a shot. Remember we said that Tony Fleeks is writing a whole bunch of good comics? Here's another one he's writing for Image, Local Man. It's about a failed superhero and how he's adjusting to life. I always like that there's a front and back. It's the cover, different covers and the different stories. A shorter story on the back than in the front. This is issue number 10. It has been really enjoyable. I also highly recommend that. That's my 2 biggest recommendations this week are probably Blue Book and Local Man. One more Dark Horse one, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. It is really interesting. I don't really understand what John Carpenter's involvement is in it, because he's not writing it. I think it might just be his name, but it's been a cool story, and you see what might be appearing. Maybe it's John Carpenter's World. What's appearing this one? This is from one of my favorite movies, it looks like. The Thing. Check it out. It's only in issue 2. You haven't missed a lot. Now let's look at what we got from DC. Let's look at our DC stack. Here is our DC stack this week. Not too shabby. I actually think I got more DC than Marvel this week. A lot of independents this week. Titans number 11 continues the story of the Titans. It's been okay, not great. Anybody watching this? Show's pretty interesting. It's a little bit more adult oriented than the early ones that they showed at midnight on Cartoon Network. Superman 14 continues the House of Brainiac saga. This story has been really, really good. Interesting take on Brainiac and his interaction with Superman, and how he's used a bunch of villains to try to weaken Superman and get his way. This couldn't have come out at a better time. Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong. They should have done something to coincide more with the movie. They should have made this more relevant to the recent movie. I'm not sure they are doing that. Also, keep an eye out for this. The style guide is coming out soon. I have it already on hold with Amazon, but it's a lot of Jose Garcia's work, if I remember correctly. And they're going to be doing, I think next month, they have a bunch of variant covers that reflect this art. And this art always reminds me of the superpowers in the Justice League and what comic books really looked like when I was younger in the early 80s and I really started buying comic books. You know, I was like 10 years old, so I had a little bit more interest than when I was a kid. I kind of started getting away a little bit more from toys and reading more comic books at that point. And this is what I think of when I think about my early times as comic book. My first introduction to comic books, Mego, Super Friends, Batman TV show. After that, I started buying comic books off the shelves and reading them. I was a big Batman fan when I was a kid. Yeah, you should stop buying the Lobo. You should stop buying that this. I know this you should buy, and this you should buy. You should actually buy comic books and not read them online. You know, I'm talking to you. Green Lantern War Journal, number 9. Another good story. I just read 3 issues of this in the last 2 days. I was a little bit behind. It's a Jon Stewart story. Jon Stewart uses the power of the ring to recreate his sister to help his mother who has Alzheimer's. So it's a real family story. Give it a look. It's if you're a fan, you'll really like it. There's 3 Green Lantern titles right now. I knew Comic Plug would be joining us, and he, you know, from what I've noticed the last couple of weeks, you like a lot of the same comics and stories that I like, and Superman vs. Lobo is fantastic. Marvel is reprinting all the Secret Wars, so why shouldn't DC reprint all the Crisis? Not only story, but advertisements are the same. The whole inside is exactly the same as it appeared back in 1984. It's like stepping back in a time machine for me. I have the whole original series from the newsstand still. These are just, I love when they do the facsimile covers and they actually do them where they are an exact replica of the original issue. The comic didn't do so well. Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Another Green Lantern title going on right now. I'm a little bit behind on this. This one obviously focuses on Alan Scott. The War Journal focuses on Jon Stewart. And then the third one focuses on Hal Jordan. So you can get your fill of Green Lantern 3 times a month if you're a fan. This is one of my favorite DC comics right now. World's Finest. It follows stories with Superman and Batman teamed up. They have been involved with Batmite and Mr. Mxyzptlk for a while. This cover contains a whole bunch of the villains. This is an alternate one. They're not on the regular Earth, so it's been good, entertaining. Favorite cover of the week: Negative Space Spider-Man. John Tyler Christopher is one of my favorite cover artists. He did all the action figure covers. Now he's doing these Negative Space covers. These are perfect to get signed by the artist. And he pops up every once in a while at New York Comic Con. So, yeah, we definitely did. Oh yeah, how can you beat reprints of Perez's work? You can't beat that. And it's mint condition. This, how can you beat that? You can't. Blood Hunt 2. First couple of issues and tie-ins have been a little bit bloody, but not as bloody as the Red Band that are bagged so little kids can't look at them because they're apparently very gory. Haven't looked to see what the difference is in the 2 this time. Regular, gory Red Band. That's right. Told you it was a horror-inspired episode. Check it out. Check out who's leading it. If you're not reading it, you'll never guess who's leading the actual takeover for the vampires. So that's what's happening. The vampires in the Marvel Universe are trying to take over the Marvel Universe. And they're either killing heroes or turning them into vampires. And here's a tie-in. Union Jack the Ripper. Union Jack is a character I was introduced to early in my collecting. I'm a big Invaders fan, and he was one of the members of the Invaders. I loved Captain America when I was a kid too, and Captain America on the Invaders was World War II, and him fighting Nazis. It was everything I could want. New Mutants number 98. Oh my goodness, it's a reprint of Deadpool's first appearance. I think it's like the 4th or 5th one I've bought. Deadpool's first appearance gets reprinted a hell of a lot. So there you go. Another Deadpool reprint. It's a facsimile, so it's taken exactly how it was originally printed. Advertisements and all. Yeah, perfect. Who can beat the Rob Liefeld art in these things? Feet and all. Look at those feet. Teeny tiny feet. But an iconic cover. I think the Punisher game. Recently did a short on this. She-Hulk number 8. She-Hulk's one of my favorite characters. So is Jack of Hearts, also one of my favorite characters. Love that the two of them are together in this, and they're kind of dating. This is less of a superhero story, more of a story of how hard it is to be a superhero. This is my highest recommended Marvel comic at this time. I definitely recommend you pick this up if you're not reading it. Oh yeah. Yeah, facsimiles, I guess they really sell well because they're doing more and more. I'm assuming they're going to do a facsimile first appearance of Wolverine. First, they did Deadpool and Wolverine. They come out, and if it's something that I enjoy, I pick it up right away. Last comic of the week, Ultimate Black Panther, number 4. We all know what happened with the first issue, so you can't really sleep on any of the issues afterwards. If they low print them again, you might get caught, and these might skyrocket. Actually, I think last week's skyrocket was Doctor Doom number 1. I saw some of those selling for $50 each already, and it's only a week old. So if you can get to your local comic shop and get another copy of Doctor Doom number 1, or if you missed it, I bought the Perez variant, and it looks like one of the other variants is just, rocketing out. All right, so what do you think? What did I spend this week? Where's my receipt? There it is. What do you think I spent on this stack this week? What's your guess? Comic plug guess, Brian guess. What do you think I spent this week? I spent a total of $96.80. There you go. 80, you're close. $96.80, $8 off. $96.80 this week. Another week that my wife might divorce me. Also picked up this at the show we went to on. If anyone out there can tell me what this is, I would greatly appreciate it because I can't find it anywhere. So check us out on Saturday night. We have another convention we went to coming up. Next week we have an episode about the Avengers and all the members that joined in the last since 2000, who joined before 2000. And we also have an interview coming up. Surprise, we'll tell you next week who it is. Thanks for watching. Love what you collect what you love. We really appreciate you guys who join and watch the live or who watch it afterwards. Drop a comment. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show. Let me know if I'm missing a title that I should be buying. Let me know if you want Brian to do a live every once in a while. Maybe he can join us on a Thursday night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Really love doing these. See you guys join the community. Become a member. See you next week. Bye-bye.